I'm John Brierley, the Camino as a path of awakening from fear to love.
So, John, as we begin to wake up, as you call it, right, we're awakening. At that point, the Camino begins to kind of weave into a path of possible transformation. Let's talk a little bit about what that means to you.
Well, we have to accept that there's something within ourselves that we want to transform. Otherwise, there's nowhere to go on it. But, the pilgrimage to me, built into that, is a sense of transformation. We're trying to change something within ourselves. We're trying to change an old conceptual model that perhaps doesn't work for us anymore in our lives, either in general or personally, and we want to transform that into something else. So again, the Caminos give us that vehicle, that time away out of the familiar in order to bring the transformation process into being. We can find ourselves walking partly letting go our old identity, but we're also walking with people who, in a sense, we have no identity for us. There's no history. We're walking with strangers who then become, of course, not only we're leaving behind the strangers, they become family. But we're walking with like-minded people, because along the Camino, if people are walking it as a pilgrimage, everybody is on some journey, some seeking, some journey of change.
Yes.
And so therefore, when we sit in a cafe, when we come together as our little Camino family, the discussion is all about those deep issues. What does transformation mean? What are we trying to change? What is it about our old life that doesn't work anymore? So we suddenly find ourselves in this wonderful sort of mix of ideas, and suddenly this support network begins. Because often, if we're at home and we start talking like this, they begin to think, "Gosh, we need the folk in the white coats or something like that." But on the Camino, that all changes, and there's a sort of an openness to this discussion, to the big question, to the deep questions of life, and the conundrums that come up for all of us.
Yeah. And you've talked about the gift of being heard, but also the responsibility as a pilgrim as being a listener.
Yes, I think that's a really important point. I mean, certainly in my life, I have not been a good listener. But along the Caminos, I have become a better listener. The listening happens also on two levels.
Yes.
So we need to listen to each other and be able to respond as appropriate. But listening means, we're not making a judgment on what somebody is saying. We're listening, we're taking it in so the other person feels heard.
Yeah.
But the other crucial listening is we have to start listening to the wise voice that is part of us,
Yes.
but we're not familiar with. We're not used to either listening to each other, and we're certainly not listening to whatever we want to call that wise being, that higher consciousness, the angels, whatever words resonate with you. But we know when we're actually going deep in and really listening beyond, if you like, ourselves, beyond the sort of persona, beyond the drama, the dream that we've created for our identity, our egoic identity. And we're now listening to a deeper place. And that's crucial also on the pilgrimage. We have to start listening to our heart, however we want to describe it. But we know when we're listening at that deep level. The listening happens on two levels, just as the pilgrimage happens on two paths. There's the outer path, the physical path, and there's the inner path. Both needs to be there.